Hello everybody, it's Robin here from Rawbacks Media, and I'm here with a quick tutorial on how you can make an awesome video for your business using PowerPoint. As you can see, I'm already here in PowerPoint. There are tons of awesome templates you can choose from. But for the purposes of our tutorial today, I'm going to start with a blank presentation. And now you can bring in all sorts of elements which you can use to make a video. So I'm going to start with this floor as a background, and then I'm going to insert this cactus, and I can make it bigger and I can rotate it and I can also align it to the top and to the left. I'm also going to bring in this picture of these pencils, and I can resize it over here and align it on the bottom and to the right. Now here comes the fun, playing around with some animations. As you can see on the animation tab, there are absolutely tons of animations to choose from. Not only the ones that they've shown you here, but they're more down at the bottom. They've divided them into entrance effects, emphasis effects, and exit effects. And when you click on those, you can see there are just absolutely tons to look at and play around with. But just to give you an idea of how it all works, I'm going to start here with the cactus, and I click on it to add an effect to it. I'm going to choose the fly in effect, and when I do that, it automatically flies it in from the bottom. So I'm going over to effect options here, and I'm going to ask it to go from the top left. And then it's a bit fast, so I'm going to use this panel over here, and this is in seconds. I'm going to ask the duration to just be a bit slower, and now when I have a look at it, it comes in nice and slowly from the right direction. I'm going to do the same thing over here with the pencils. I'm going to use the fly in option, and I'm going to slow it down also to 1.5 seconds. And now if I want to watch that back, I can use the animation pane. And you can see here, this is a really helpful place to know about, because the animation pane is your navigation bar, it's your dashboard for how the animation plays out. So as it stands at the moment, those two elements come in like that, and we can change that by clicking on this little down arrow here. Now for the purposes of the video, we don't want it to start on a click, we want it to start with the previous, and the same thing for this one. So each of these pictures represents one of these here. So this is picture 6 and this is picture 8. And if I keep it the way it is and I play it, you'll see that they both come in at the same time. If I change picture 8 to start after previous, and then I play it, first the cactus comes in and then the pencils come up. So that's really fun to play around with, and it helps you with your timing. That's what you want to use the animation pane for. I'm going to now insert another picture. I'll use my logo just to give you a couple of different ideas of the types of animations that you can use. Here's diamond. Checkerboard's quite fun. There's a swivel. Let's try compress. This one's called wheel. This one is fly in, which is what we'd use for the other elements. Here's boomerang. Just absolutely tons. And you don't just have to use pictures as your elements. You can also insert a text box. And so say, for instance, one of the things we offer is WordPress web design. And we will use our logo, and we will change the color. And there we go. Let's make it a bit bigger so you can see. Okay, so now we've got a text box, and the same thing here. We can use animations. Let's try emphasis effects on the text box. Let's have a look. That puts a block around it. This one is called spin. This one is bold flash. Here's one called Desaturate. Did you see that? That one didn't really work for our color scheme. This one's called Blink and Wave. That one's quite fun for the text box. So again, all sorts of cool things that you can do using animations. And let's show you a few exits effects. Here's plus. There's a float down. This one's called diamond. So just absolutely tons of things that you can do to play around with your different elements and make a really cool video. Another really important thing I need to show you about here under animations are these motion paths. And this is pretty cool because you can choose your custom path and you can really tell the element, whether it's a text box or a picture, how to move across your slide. So that's something that's also cool that you can play around with. Let's head over here now. So right now what we've got are just the two animations, but let's bring our logo in on a swivel. Okay, and we want it to play after the pencils come in, so we say start after previous. And let's do something fun with our text box. Let's do a teeter. Okay, but before I teeter it in, I actually want to also bring it in, so I will fade it in. First I'm going to fade it in and then I'm going to teeter it. And so I want to add a second animation, and I click over here and I add the animation here. If I just changed it there, it would cancel out the first animation. So here you can see now I've got, for the text box, I've got two different animations. But you can also see that they are not coming after the previous progression. So I'm going to change that by saying start after previous and start after previous. Okay. Let's see how that looks right now. So the cactus floats in, the pencils come up, there goes the logo, and that's quite fun. If I wanted to now put an exit effect onto that text box, I'm going to zoom it out. I'm going to put it after the previous, and here's something else you need to know about, and this is the timing. I don't want it to go straight away. I want it to delay for let's say a second and a half before it disappears. So I've added a delay to that animation, and when I play it, let's just play from the text box, it appears, it wobbles, and then it waits a beat and a half before it disappears. Okay, so that's just some cool, fun things you can do with animations on PowerPoint. There's one more thing I'd like to show you, and that's how to transition between slides, because sometimes you end up putting so much stuff onto one slide it becomes messy. So if you'd like to duplicate your slide, you can do that by right-clicking over here and going duplicate slide. Or if you'd like to, you can also put a new slide in and add new and different elements to that slide. So I'm going to put this nice picture here. Okay. So now let me explain to you about transitions, because that's the next important thing to do. We're going to have a transition between the two slides. So an animation is for effects that are happening on a slide, and a transition is moving from one slide to the next. And there are a bunch of cool things that you can play around with. So you want to be on the slide that you're transitioning to, and so this one's called push. Here's one called split. We've got random bars. There's a fun one, or here's one called honeycomb. There's one called curtains, which is kind of fun. And again, just absolutely tons and tons of things that you can play around with. So let's choose one. Anyone will do. This one's called drape. Okay, we're going to go with drape, and we're going to come over here to the timing of it, and we don't want it to be on a mouse click. We just want it to start after 4 seconds. and we can tell it to take 2 seconds or however long we want the duration to be. And there we go. So if we want to now watch our whole slideshow from the very beginning, we click on the slideshow tab up here and we click on rehearse timings. And it's really important to use that rehearse timings when you're getting ready to create your video, because you want to make sure that all of your effects are happening at the right time before your video is created. And we've set it up so that it should play automatically, but if you see it's lagging or you've accidentally forgotten to set something to play, just tap on the spacebar button and that will prompt it to move on to the next animation or the transition. So let's have a look at what we've done so far here. Okay. It's not moving on to the next slide on its own, so I'm just going to press the space bar and that will move it along, and when I am ready to stop, I press the space bar again and it tells me the total time of my slideshow is 18 seconds, and I can choose to either save those timings or not. So for this thing I'm going to say yes, go ahead and save it, and now I'm going to create my video. So I go into the file section, and if I say save as, I can save the PowerPoint presentation, but to make the video I go down here to export and I say create a video. And I create the video here, and I'll just save it over here, and we'll call it Rawbacks. Let's copy over that one. And you'll see down here, creating video is written down here, and it's taking a little time. It will take a while to go through, and so while that's being created, I'll show you once it's ready. But while it's being created, let me just say that if you have any questions about making videos in PowerPoint, please feel free to drop me a private message or make a comment down below, and I will be more than happy to help you out and to point you in the right direction, or maybe push and shove you in the right direction. I'm always happy to help, so go ahead and ask for the help, because I will be here to give it. Okay, there we go. That has now been created. And I go here into my file, and let's see my video sometimes. There we go. An MP4 video, just like we've made in PowerPoint, all the timing exactly as I have rehearsed it. And that's it.